the wait is finally over. Outlander has returned to our screens with a first glimpse into Season 8, and the trailer leaves fans breathless. The love story of Jamie and Claire Fraser has taken us across centuries through war, heartbreak, and impossible choices. Now, with the final chapter about to begin, the trailer drops hints that this journey will end with the most powerful test of all. Every frame feels heavy with meaning. Every line of dialogue whispers of endings, of battles yet to come, and of love fighting against time itself. Outlander has always been more than a show. It is a saga of passion and fate, and the trailer makes one thing clear: the end will not come quietly. Before diving into the details of the trailer, let us step back and remember where Season 7 left us. The last season of Outlander brought us moments of triumph and tragedy that tested Jamie and Claire like never before. Their bond was once again pulled across the chaos of the American Revolution, a war that placed them in constant danger and forced them to make choices that could break even the strongest of souls. We saw Jamie fighting for survival, Claire once more facing the shadow of death, and both of them trying to hold on to each other while history itself tried to tear them apart. As the war raged on, alliances shifted, and loyalties were tested. Familiar faces returned, some as allies, some as enemies. The threads of family were stretched, and promises of safety seemed impossible to keep. One of the most striking parts of the season was how the revolution was not just a backdrop, but a force pressing against their lives with relentless power. For Jamie and Claire, the revolution was not about politics or power. It was about survival, about protecting their family, and about holding on to the future they had dreamed of together. The ending of Season 7 was packed with suspense. Questions hung heavy in the air. Would Jamie and Claire ever find peace? Their love endured through the storm of war and betrayal. The season closed not with answers, but with uncertainty. It left fans restless, desperate to see what comes next. The battlefield was still alive, the revolution still burning, and the dangers for Jamie and Claire far from over. The choices they made in Season 7 shaped not only their future, but the future of everyone around them. The trailer for Season 8 picks up from that tension, does not allow the audience to breathe or relax. Instead, it throws us right back into the fire. The cliffhangers of Season 7 now feel like doors opening into something even larger, even more dangerous. It is a reminder that this story is not just about love across time, but about sacrifice, destiny, and the weight of history. Season 7 ended with pain, with promises left unfulfilled, and with dangers still waiting in the shadows. Now, Season 8 promises to answer those lingering questions, to bring closure to a journey that has spanned decades on screen and centuries within its story. The first trailer for Outlander Season 8 opens not with peace, but with tension so sharp it feels like the air itself could break. A slow shot of mist rising across a battlefield sets the mood, the camera lingering on torn flags and silent fields where victory and loss are both written in blood. From the very first frame, it is clear that this season will not hesitate to remind us of the cost of war, and the sound of Claire's voice cuts through the silence. Her words are quiet, almost trembling, as if she is speaking to herself, but also to the ghosts that follow her. She says she has seen too much, lost too much, but that she cannot turn away now. Her voice trembles with grief, yet burns with determination. And in that moment, the trailer tells us that Claire will carry the weight of the story until the very end. As the trailer builds, Jamie appears in a sudden rush of movement. His face is older, carved by years of struggle, but his eyes still burn with the same fire we saw when he first held Claire centuries ago. The trailer shows him on horseback, charging into the chaos of battle, his voice carrying across the field, as he calls for freedom, for loyalty, for a dream that seems nearly impossible to hold on to. There is no hesitation in him, no sign of surrender. Yet there is a heaviness in the way he grips his sword, as though he knows this fight may demand more from him than any before. Between flashes of battle, the trailer offers glimpses of intimacy. A candlelit room where Jamie and Claire stand face to face, their hands trembling as they hold on to each other. her eyes filled with tears, his voice whispering that he will find her no matter where time takes her. The camera pulls close enough for us to see the cracks in their strength, the fear that maybe, just maybe, this time love will not be enough to protect them. It is in these moments that Outlander reminds us why fans have followed this story for so long. It is not just the war or the history, but the fierce devotion of two souls who refuse to be broken. The trailer does not stop at love and war. It teases mysteries still unfolding, shadows waiting to strike, a shot of Brianna standing alone by the river, holding a letter that seems too heavy for her hands, a glimpse of Roger staring into the distance as though he sees something that others cannot. A brief, shocking frame of a familiar face returning when least expected, leaving fans to wonder if friend or foe is stepping out of the past. Each fragment of the trailer feels like a puzzle piece, carefully chosen to give just enough without revealing too much. Then comes the sound of gunfire, the clash of steel, and the rising cry of voices, as if the entire world is holding its breath. The trailer moves faster, showing chaos and fragments. Explosions of fire, soldiers shouting, doors being kicked open, tears falling in silence. It is not just battle being shown, but the destruction of everything fragile, the breaking apart of families, and the desperate will to survive. And just when the chaos reaches its peak, the screen fades to black, and Claire's voice returns. She whispers that love was never meant to be easy, and the words linger like a prophecy. The final shot of the trailer is one that refuses to leave the mind. Jamie, standing alone in the rain, his face turned upward, his eyes filled with a pain that speaks louder than words. The camera lingers just long enough for the audience to feel the weight of everything pressing down on him. Then the screen cuts to black, and the words appear. The final season. Outlander Season 8. This trailer does not simply tease another chapter. It declares that this is the last great battle of a story that has captured hearts for nearly a decade. Every moment of the trailer is laced with urgency, with the sense that time is running out and the end is closer than ever. Fans are left, not only with excitement, but with the ache of knowing that this journey is almost complete. The story of Outlander has always balanced on the edge of history and destiny, and Season 8 is set to push that balance further than ever before. This final season carries the weight of every choice made across the years. Every promise, every sacrifice, and every moment where Jamie and Claire refused to let time or fate destroy their bond. The trailer hints at war, betrayal, and heartbreak, but beneath the surface lies something even greater. Season 8 is not just about battles fought with swords or guns. It is about battles fought inside the heart. Battles where love itself must be strong enough to survive the pull of time. For Jamie, this season appears to place him at the very center of a storm he cannot escape. The revolution is no longer just a backdrop, it is now swallowing everything. His role as a husband, a father, and a warrior collides in a way that feels final. The glimpses we see in the trailer suggest that Jamie will have to face decisions that carry not only the fate of his family, but the fate of the dream he has fought for since the first moment we met him. Will freedom be worth the cost? Will love be strong enough when history demands blood? These questions rise from every frame of the trailer and will shape the story of the season. Claire's journey in Season 8 seems just as powerful, but in a different way. She has always been the woman who could not be broken, who could stand against war, betrayal, and even time itself. But the trailer shows her carrying more sorrow than ever before. Her voice, soft but filled with pain, tells us that the final season will test her in ways that even she may not survive without scars. Claire has always been the healer, the one who tries to mend the wounds of others. But in Season 8, the question is whether she can mend her own heart while still standing by Jamie's side. The season also promises to bring the younger generation into the light once more. Brianna and Roger, standing on the edge of their own journey, must choose whether to follow the path of their parents or carve out a new future far from war. The trailer teases their struggles with haunting images: a letter in Brianna's hands, Roger's searching eyes, the suggestion that time itself may once again play its cruel game with them. These threads remind us that Outlander has never been the story of two people alone. but of a family bound together across centuries. There are also the mysteries that have always followed this saga like shadows. The trailer flashes a glimpse of a face long thought gone, a return that could change everything. It whispers of betrayals yet to be revealed, and of alliances that may crumble when they are needed most. Fans of the novels know that the story still holds secrets, but even for those who have read every page, the series has proven it can surprise, twist, and turn in ways that leave us shaken. For years, fans of Outlander have counted down the months and the weeks, waiting for news of when Jamie and Claire's story would finally reach its last chapter. Every rumor, every whisper, every small update has been met with anticipation, but now the wait is over. The trailer delivers what everyone has been waiting for: the official release date of Outlander Season 8. The words do not simply appear on the screen, they strike with the weight of destiny. The music rises, the images fade, and then the date is revealed, a single moment that tells us the journey is about to begin again. One last time, the choice to announce it within the trailer is no accident. It feels deliberate, as though the creators knew the audience needed to be pulled into the heart of the story before the truth was given. This is not just another season. This is the end of a legacy, and the reveal of the date carries an emotional force stronger than any battle cry. It tells fans to prepare themselves, to mark their calendars, because what comes next will change the way they remember Jamie and Claire forever. The date carries with it more than just time. It carries the reality that the story is closing. Nearly a decade, Outlander has traveled through centuries, taking audiences across Scotland, France, America, and the uncharted pathways of time itself. Now, with one date on the calendar, the audience is reminded that the journey which began with a nurse and a Highlander is about to find its final ending. There is both joy and sorrow in this moment. Joy that the story is continuing, sorrow that it is reaching its conclusion. As the trailer lingers on its final shot, the words announcing the season's arrival stand against a dark background, glowing with the weight of finality. Fans who have walked alongside Jamie and Claire since the beginning will feel the pull of memory. The laughter, the heartbreak, the separations, and the reunions, all of them have led to this point. The release date is not just a number, it is a promise. It is the promise that the story will end the way it was always meant to end, on screen, with fire, with passion, and with the kind of love that cannot be broken. The announcement is also a reminder of time itself, the very force that has defined the series. Just as Claire and Jamie have fought against time, so have the fans been racing it, watching years pass by between seasons, waiting for the next part of the journey. Now, time has given its answer. The countdown has begun, and every passing day brings us closer to the final battle, the final love story, the final goodbye. The reveal of the release date does not feel like the start of something new. It feels like the opening of the last door, the first step into an ending that has been waiting since the very beginning. Fans are no longer asking when. They know. The moment is set. The story is ready. The world of Outlander is about to close its circle with one last, forgettable season. As the trailer fades and the release date burns itself into memory, another truth becomes clear. Outlander Season 8 is not just about closing the story on screen, it is about the people who have carried it to this point. The return of the cast feels less like an announcement and more like a reunion, as if familiar faces are stepping back onto a stage for their final bow. The heartbeat of this series has always been Sam Heughan and Catriona Balfe, and in this final season, their performances will carry the weight of a decade of storytelling. Their chemistry, their fire, and their quiet moments of vulnerability are what transformed Outlander into more than a show. Now those same performances must bring it to its ending. Sam Heughan's Jamie has been the soul of defiance, a man who has fought wars and time itself for love. Catriona Balfe's Claire has been the soul of resilience, a woman who has healed wounds both physical and emotional, who has walked through centuries with courage no force could crush. Together, they are more than characters. They are the very heartbeat of Outlander. The final season is not just asking them to act. It is asking them to bring closure to a love story that has defined modern television. the weight of that responsibility rests in every frame, in every whispered line, in every glance shared across the screen. But Outlander has never been only about two. Sophie Skelton returns as Brianna, the daughter torn between two worlds. A bridge between past and present, a living reminder of what Jamie and Claire have built and what they might yet lose. Richard Rankin returns as Roger, a man shaped by doubt, faith, and destiny, whose quiet strength grows with each passing season. Their story, too, presses forward in Season 8, promising moments of love, of heartbreak, and of choices that will shape the legacy left behind. The production itself has been a journey just as long as the story, filming across the landscapes that have always given Outlander its raw beauty. The crew has returned to windswept fields, candlelit rooms, and shadowed forests where history and fiction bleed into one another. These places are not just backdrops, they are characters in their own right. The return to Scotland feels symbolic, a circle closing, a reminder that no matter where the story has wandered to Paris, to America, to the edges of time, it began here, and here it will end. Behind the camera, the creators have spoken of the pressure of this final season. The task is not small. They are not simply writing scripts or shooting scenes, they are building an ending worthy of a saga that has lasted for years. Every decision carries weight. Which stories will be told? Which characters will be given their farewell? How do you say goodbye to a world that has lived in the hearts of fans for nearly a decade? The answers are not simple, but the determination is clear. The cast and crew know this is their last chance to honor Jamie and Claire's journey. And the trailer shows us that they intend to give everything. And then, in the quiet moments behind production, there are whispers of the future. A spin-off already waits on the horizon, promising to expand the world even as the main story closes. But for now, all focus rests on Season 8, on this final battle, this final love story. The cast has returned, the cameras have rolled, and history waits to be written one last time. Fans know that when the credits roll on the very last episode, it will not just be the end of a show, it will be the end of a family, both on screen and off. Gave everything to bring Outlander to life. The moment the trailer was released, the world of Outlander fans erupted with voices that could be felt. Across every corner of the internet, social media filled with tears, laughter, and disbelief, as if thousands of hearts were beating in the same rhythm. For many, seeing Jamie and Claire once more on screen was not just the return of a show, was the return of old friends, of a family they have carried for years. Some fans wrote that they had watched the trailer again and again, searching for hidden clues in every frame, holding on to every line as if it were a message meant only for them. Others shared stories of how Outlander had carried them through their own struggles, of how the love between Jamie and Claire reminded them of love they had lost or love they still fight for. This is the legacy of Outlander. It is not only about history or romance or war. It is about the way it reaches out of the screen and touches the lives of those watching. From the very first episode, when Claire first touched the standing stones and time folded around her, audiences were taken on a journey that felt larger than fiction. For some, it was the landscapes of Scotland that captured the imagination. For others, it was the daring mix of history and fantasy. But for nearly all, it was the unshakable devotion between two souls who refused to surrender to fate. That devotion has echoed across generations of viewers, leaving an imprint that does not fade. The reaction to this final trailer proves that. Outlander is more than entertainment, it is a shared experience. Fans write of how they began watching years ago, sometimes with parents who are no longer here, sometimes with children who have grown up alongside the story. For them, this final season is not just another show on the calendar. It is a farewell to a part of their lives. The trailer's images Jamie's haunted eyes, Claire's trembling voice. Brianna's letter clutched in her hands become mirrors, reflecting the emotions of those who have followed every step of this journey. The legacy of Outlander also lives in its courage to tell a story about love that is raw, imperfect, and unbreakable. Unlike so many romances, Outlander never shied away from the pain that comes with passion. It showed lovers separated by war, torn by time, aged by loss, yet still holding on with a strength that defies reason. This is why the show has lasted so long, why it has grown into more than just a series. It has shown audiences that love is not only about sweetness or comfort, it is about endurance, sacrifice, and the willingness to walk through fire, to stand beside the one you love. As fans look toward Season 8, they are not only waiting for answers to the story's mysteries, they are waiting for closure to a bond that has shaped nearly a decade of television. And in their reactions lies something powerful: gratitude. Gratitude for the cast, for the crew, for the writers, and for the moments that will live forever in their memories. Outlander's legacy is already secure, but with this final season, it has the chance to carve itself even deeper into history. For when the last scene fades, the love of Jamie and Claire will not fade with it. It will live on in the hearts of those who believed in it, who cried for it, who cheered for it, and who now prepare themselves to say goodbye. And so the trailer ends, leaving us not with answers, but with a silence heavy enough to carry every heartbeat of the story. Outlander Season 8 is no longer just a dream in the distance, it is coming. And with it, the final chapter of a saga that has defied time, war, and death itself. Jamie and Claire's love has crossed centuries, has bent history to its will, and has shown us that even when the world breaks, two hearts can still beat as one. Now, as the story prepares to take its last breath, the question remains: how? Will it end? And what will be left behind when the stones finally close forever? The legacy of Outlander rests not only in its story, but in its audience. For years, fans have carried it, protected it, and lived it as if it were their own. With this final season, it becomes more than a show. It becomes memory, a part of lives that will echo long after the last scene fades to black. The trailer does not promise peace, nor does it promise safety. It promises a conclusion, one that will burn with passion, one that will demand tears, and one that will remind us why we first stepped through the stones alongside Claire all those years ago. So now, the countdown begins. The date is set, the cast has returned, and the final story waits. As the trailer fades, it leaves a space for every fan to step into. A space where questions turn into theories, where memories turn into farewells, and that is where you come in. How do you believe this journey will end? Which characters do you think will find peace, and which will be lost to time? What are your hopes, your fears, and your final wishes for Jamie and Claire? Share your thoughts, share your theories, share your love for a story that has meant so much to so many. This is not just the end of a show, it's the end of an era. A story that belongs to all of us who followed it across years, across battles, across centuries. So let your voice be part of it. Leave your theories below. Let the world know how you will remember Outlander when the stones finally fall silent. And if you want to stay on this journey until the very last moment, make sure to join us here, where every update, every reveal, and every hidden detail of Outlander's final season will be explored. The story is ending, but until that final scene arrives, the fire of Outlander will keep burning. The final season is near, the last battle is coming, and the love story of Jamie and Claire Fraser is about to write its final line.